Harold had kept the words buried for 17 years until the blank chat window on his laptop refused to let the silence continue. The Ridge house stood alone against the night wind. Harold, 71, sat at the kitchen table with his coat still buttoned. The laptop glowed like a single candle. His fingers hovered stiffly above the keys while screen glare filled the blank window. The clock on the wall ticked once for every year he had swallowed. He had opened the link only because sleep would not come. The tool called itself a quiet journal that listened without judgment. On screen the glare persisted, patient, tying every hesitation to its own steady rhythm. Close up, his eyes ached from the light holding space for what he had never spoken. For minutes passed before the first sentence formed. My son left because I never told him I was proud. The words appeared letter by letter, each keystroke carrying the weight of the driveway where the truck had idled. Harold's face tightened, eyes fixed on the memory of dust rising in the rearview mirror. The AI journaling tool answered at once. You wrote that your son left because you never told him you were proud. What did that silence take from you both? Harold read the question twice, the glare steady between them. He typed the afternoon the boy loaded his truck, the way the unspoken praise had risen and died in his throat, the kitchen doorway framing his son's smaller shoulders as the engine faded. Flashbacks moved across the screen like firelight on old stone. The boy at 12 laughing in the yard, the wind carrying his shouts as the ball thudded against the fence, grass cool and damp under Harold's knees when he knelt to embrace the running child, laughter ringing in the air. The same boy at 29 offering a stiff handshake at the door. Harold's jaw worked, the lines around his eyes deepening. The machine waited, then reflected the next line back in plain sentences. He kept going. Letters he had started and burned appeared on the page. Phone calls that rang through to silence filled the chat. The AI replied, these calls that rang to silence still echo in you. The ticking clock grew faint beneath the wind against the ridge. Each paragraph grew longer, the machine holding every word without softening or urging. Midway the kitchen had grown cold. Harold described the last visit, the way his son's shoulders looked smaller than memory allowed, the single handshake that ended everything. His face softened for the first time, the glare from the screen steady as dawn's first grey light touched the window. When the final line was written the room felt larger. His breath no longer caught on each exhale. Harold rose, placed the photograph upright, lifted the phone, dialed the number he had kept but never used, and waited as the first ring began. Morning light entered slowly, gilding the table and the closed laptop. He had placed the photograph where he would see it each evening, the first ring had sounded.